Hello everyone, my name is Sayorius and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Delicious in Dungeon, which is honestly one of the biggest surprises of winter anime. Now, what I love about this show so much is its premise. It's about cooking monsters in a dungeon because you are broke. That is the premise, and what I love so much about it is that it uses that unique premise to explore this fantasy world. You have such an amazing, innovative cast of characters here who have their own personalities, motivations, backstories. You have an amazing magic system, the monsters from their designs to how they attack versus how they taste when you cook them is fantastically done. And overall, I think this show really excels at one of the biggest problems I have with fantasy stories recently. Ever since ReZero basically kicked off, I guess, the isekai trend along with Konosuba, Overlord, and a lot of forefront runners when it comes to the isekai genre / fantasy genre, you got a lot of stories that want to emulate sort of dark fantasy. Also Berserk also helped contribute to that, where you have a lot of stories that whenever you have a fantasy story, you have to make it morbid, you have to make it dark, it needs to be depressing, edgy. And you see shows like this season, Ragna Crimson, that really fall into that trap of being over the top too edgy, and it really kills the show. Now, when it comes to a lot of great fantasy stories that I think that do that well, that have these dark tones, they were able to balance it out with having slight humor here and there, as well as world exploration. Now, what I love about Danjon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon, is that instead of taking that dark route like a lot of other shows do, it is very lighthearted. Does it have dramatic moments? Absolutely. Does it have very serious moments, very scary moments that come out of nowhere? Yes, and when it happens, it's amazing because it's just well executed. Just watch, if you watch the last episode, episode 8, you can see what I mean. There's a moment there that I thought was just handled so well, and I haven't seen really any series shows get to that level of maturity. Now, when it comes to the show, I think the lighthearted nature is to its benefit. I think a lot of people can start watching the show, and the more they keep watching the show, they're gonna fall in love with it because it's just very lighthearted, it's very wholesome, and it's about a rescue mission while also enjoying sort of each other's company, while learning about each other and learning how to cook these monsters. That's the main thing, you're cooking monsters. And although I put in my thumbnail that you get to eat goblins, they don't actually eat goblins, at least as of now, when before episode 8, they do explore different ways to cook, the plant monsters, you have fish creatures, you have slimes, and you're able to sort of make a feast out of that. Even eat treasure bugs, that's a thing. And so, the more you watch this show, the more that you realize that this story has a lot to offer. And I actually find a lot of people, I actually recommend it to my friend, and he's in love with it. I actually want to recommend this to a lot of people because the more that I think more people talk about this show, the more you're going to start to realize that there's a gold mine here. There's a lot to offer. And just based on this image right now, I'm on Twitter right now. This is just the preview for episode 8. The animation is also spectacular. It's just one of the best I've seen. And what I also love about this show too is it's one of those shows where it's under the radar for a lot of people because it's not really talked about. Like the most I've heard about people talking about the show is word of mouth on how good it is. And so that's why I kind of wanted to make today's video, is just sort of me talking about why I think you should give this show a chance. And if you really step back and think about what makes great anime, it really boils down to two things: the writing, and that includes everything from the world building, the characters, and basically the plot, how everything functions. And the second thing is just consistent tone, because even with great writing, if you don't have a consistent tone, things fall apart. And you think that those two are synonymous, they're the same thing, but I assure you they are not, because I've watched really well written shows and really well written manga and even TV shows and movies outside of anime. And the thing that kills it, despite it having great writing, is inconsistent tone. And what I love about Dungeon Machi is it manages to blend everything together perfectly. And yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on Delicious in Dungeon. Please check it out. I think it is the sleeper hit. I did a poll too, and you guys wanted me to talk about it as well, so that's also a main reason for this. What do you guys think of Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon? Do you love the show if you've seen it? I think it is probably going to be one of my all-time favorites, and there are a couple other shows I think are on par this season. I just think this show, it just came out of nowhere, and yeah, I think more people need to be talking about it. It is honestly, and I'm going to call it right now, one of the best cooking anime out there, and it is infinitely better than Food Wars. And although I do have a guilty pleasure when it comes to Food Wars, I think Food Wars is really fun for a lot of reasons. I think this one is infinitely better, and more people I feel will be able to watch this show. They will go into the show and actually find some amount of value out of it compared to Food Wars, because Food Wars, as much as I love it, does require that you to have a particular taste or just acceptance of the anime medium that I think a lot of people are still not there yet. But yeah, thanks for watching, friends. I just wanted to share my thoughts, and if you want to follow my Twitter, it's right there. That's my Twitter handle, @Sayorius. And if you like this video and want to see more videos like that, and also this video format, please subscribe. I got a lot of subscribers from last time. I think I got like 12 for my last video. So it seems to be working. It seems like you guys are liking this type of content. So more videos in the future. When Avatar drops next week, later this week, I'm gonna be making a video on that as well. In addition to a lot of new anime as well that we're going to be looking forward to, as well as some of the anime this season. I'm going to be talking about that. So please subscribe if you want to stay updated. Hit that bell as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I've talked long enough. Watch Delicious in Dungeon. Also, if you cook, makes the experience so much better. If you cook food while you watch it, so you'll cook a meal, you'll sit down, eat that meal while watching it, best feeling in the world. It is cathartic. It is amazing. That's my advice to you. Anyways, thank you. Bye.